Next one we have is the mode of access. So for the particularly mode of access, there is a sequential access or sequential memories also I have said here. So sequential access, if I want to give an example for sequential access, then you can go for the magnetic tapes or digital video recorders, DVD players, where there etc use the sequential that this kind of memories are called as the sequential access memories, because the data is stored in sequential order in the magnetic tape. So if you want to read the data, you have to scan that tape. And the second one is, on the basis of mode of access, random access memories are there. Random access memory, which are again categorized into two parts. A random access memory, it can be random access memory, also called as RAM memory, random access memory. It can be categorized into static RAM and dynamic RAM. Whereas if you go for the technology used in the fabrication, there are two major methods. First one is the bipolar and the second one is the unipolar. So in the bipolar technology, we are going to use the BJTs or the simple diode, also semiconductor devices, through which we are going to design the bipolar. This is a fabrication method. And in unipolar, particularly MOSFETs and the charge devices are used to design the memory. So for example, I can write down here example for static RAM, read-only memories and programmable read-only memories. These can be fabricated using both the technologies. So they can fabricate it with the help of both the technologies. So you can call it as bipolar, plus it may be this kind of memories can also be designed with the help of unipolar technologies, that is nothing but the MOSFETs. Secondly, dynamic RAMs along with electrically programmable read-only memories, that is EEPROM, and electrically addressable EAROM, they are fabricated with the help of MOSFETs. MOSFETs, that is nothing but the unipolar technologies. So on the various parameters, the memories can be divided. Okay, now in more detail we are going to see the read-only memories and the sequential memories along with the other memories in the further sessions within 5 minutes. And that's all about the classification of memory in the digital circuits, and in short, their properties. So here are some properties of those: small size, low cost, high speed, high reliability, and ease of expansion of memory size. So you can easily expand the memory size with the help of this process, and depending upon the application of yours, you can select any of the memory available with the semiconductors in the digital circuits. And thank you for watching In 5 Minutes, and for more videos, stay tuned to In 5 Minutes.